All right, so joining us this morning is John Yonich, who is the owner and operator of the D&R Theatre, and I believe everybody has probably heard the news at this point. John, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So you are closing the D&R Theatre, is that correct?
Not closing, it's closed.
It is closed. Okay, so did you close the D&R and what other businesses?
Well, just everything, within the, in the buildings. I mean, the scoops and the backstage espresso also.
Now, can you tell me what led to that decision? Because it seemed like it happened all of a sudden.
Well, it happened pretty quick. Well, first of all, I've heard. Well, first of all, I cannot believe the power of social media. That's the one I am floored. I'm an old guy, but I'm not that old, and I had no idea how big a deal that is.
Yeah,
I'm getting calls from all around the North America, and I'm not just saying the state of Washington. I can't believe it, and how fast it traveled.
Yeah,
just unbelievable. But back to, I don't know. I mean, I can't say I've been contemplating, but it's just been a bunch of little things. And I'm in business, and I can weather the storm. And I've been in my own business for over 30 years, and I went through all types of situations, from economic situations to labor to whatever. Because I started as a little one-man operation, so I know how to build a business, and I know how to deal with bureaucracy and the whole drill, and how to surround yourself with certain people. But down there, it just got to a point. I don't know if it's getting wiser in my age or whatever. I'm thinking about this driving one day, and it's just one thing after another, and and I'm not blaming this at the city. Also, I mean, there's some issues in the city. I don't know if we can work them out. Well, that's one less. But there's some things at the county level. There's some things at the state level that if I was being treated like everyone else out there, other theaters comparable throughout the state of Washington and other venues like mine, I can deal with it, and it's not, and that's why I didn't really want to talk to anyone. And my attorney spoke with the newspaper because I want to make sure I didn't say something wrong. I'm not out to get anybody. I mean, right. I'm not, and Pat, you know me. That's not my MO.
No, I know.
And I've used, I've used a sounding board, and I thank you. I mean, on a lot of stuff, on different acts and what I'm doing, because, you are the guy down there. You're the local guy. You're the man. I'm not. And I don't want to be the man. I mean, I just want to try to do something that I thought needed to be done. And, and it kind of grew from one thing to another. And of course, I started with the Morks, and, we did that. And, I put my money where my mouth was, and I, had a good following. And there's some people, think what I'm doing is, dumb. I've done dumber. But, if, and I say, and I don't want to get into this on this today, but I mean, if you knew the whole story behind it, people, and I'm saying people, not, the local type, people from out of the area, people who don't have an emotional tie are saying, why don't you do this in, Kennewick? Why, Bellingham will take you in a heartbeat. Why don't you do this? Why don't you, because that's not my home. I mean, and it's not to have a bunch of liquid income just to let it fly. I don't. I mean, they have to make sense, and you can only fund them so far. And in the theater side, I mean, it's come a long ways. We've learned a lot on how to do shows and what shows to bring in. And in the Facebook, I've seen a couple of them. I haven't paid attention to a lot, but I was on a plane because I'm in Atlanta right now, as you well know. Mm-hmm. I was reading a few of these things, and they think that, I'm trying to get something. I'm not trying to get anything. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I'm not trying to do anything. It's just sometimes, a guy hits a wall, and he says, "Why?" And that's kind of it's kind of where I am, and I kind of surprised when I did it myself. But my wife said, I mean, she can't believe the difference in me in one day.
So, John, if I understand, it sounds like you are really frustrated and or tired with bureaucracy. Is it just in Aberdeen, or is it in the state of Washington? Is it tough to do business?
It's a little bit. In fact, I'm going to meet with some leaders from Olympia. They want to talk on Thursday, and I said, we'll talk all day long. I mean, I'm just like what Sim said in the paper. I don't need it. I mean, I don't. It's different if it's putting food on my table or if I was curing cancer or anything like that. I'm not. You know, is my passion still there? Yeah. I mean, is it where it was? Probably not. You know, probably not as much. And you know, and I have a few other things on the table, which were going to be announced, which it was a pretty big deal. And it would have been a hitter down there. And I thought about it. Do I want to go through this again? I mean, I think there's some things in the city, but there's things in every city, Pat. You know that. I mean, you've been around there. You know the news side of it. You know, you can't have it your way, and it's not tax breaks or anything like that. All I want is the same as everyone else. I mean, from permitting processing to whatever. And I just want to keep on reiterating about it's not anybody or anybody particular. I just think that's, it's somebody said last night, they called me, and they said it's like the movie Network. Remember that one? I'm mad as hell, I can't take it anymore, and everybody's yelling out the window.
Right.
And it's kind of like, it's a whole situation from, 6 or 7 years ago when I was told, hey, we're going to address this transient issue, and we're going to clean up downtown, and we're going to do this. And I hate to say it, I feel like I'm the only guy who's done it. I mean, I'm out there pressure washing my sidewalks, or I'm out there hosing down. That's just labor. Mm-hmm. I mean, anybody can do that. I'm not planting planters. I planted Broadway. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I did it. Why am I doing it? Because nobody else wants to. I didn't even live there. And I'm thinking, what's it going to take? Well, and then, go full circle. I cannot believe, now I get calls from, news channels, and they want to come down to Aberdeen. There's supposed to be some march going on. And when the guy said march, I thought he meant march as in, this is where I am. I go, yeah, it's March 3rd, duh. Mm-hmm. The guy goes, no, a march. I mean, I haven't heard that since the 70s.
So you're frustrated with city, state, bureaucracy,
just a little of all, Pat, and
okay.
And the thing is, I just need to define it. And can it be fixed? My wife even asked me that, and I said, honey, man, I'll put it this way: it was 98% on Friday. It's probably 95 now. I mean, it's going to be a pretty major situation for me to, and like I said, somebody goes, "Is it for sale?" No, it's not for sale. Would I sell it? Who's going to buy it?
Good, John. Well, let me ask you this question: what would it take for you to change your mind?
Pat, I don't know. I mean, I really, I'm kind of glad I'm on this business trip right now, because give me a couple of days, and I've got to go through Vegas and then back up Wednesday. But I think I'll have a clear definition of what I need and what I don't need to make this done. But I'm not looking for any sympathy or anything, because that's one thing. I kind of wish I wouldn't have said anything. Now, I mean, how could you not? I guess, but I didn't know. I just had no idea it was going to grow to be this. And yesterday when we shut down backstage, that hurt. I mean, those girls have been great to me, but I can't, just for security reasons, I just can't leave one little thing open, because, as you well know, with what we have inside that place, I mean, I can't do it. And so if I did it, I had to do it all. And we placed some of the girls down to Amore, and I've been asked about that, and I said, as long as you support Amore, it stays. If it doesn't, it's a business. I mean, if it doesn't, it doesn't. Up to this date, it's been good. So, Pat, I can't give you a straight answer. I mean, and you'll be the first that I have one. If I drive up to Charlotte today and I think, oh gosh, Pat, I'm going to call Pat and tell him now. It just hit me. Hasn't hit me, but I can't go off and on. And I've got another issue too. I've got probably, which nobody knows. Part of it. I think I have 8 shows I'm under contract on. I've got another issue.
Right.
It's not that easy just to walk away from those. I'm going to eat a lot of money if I walk away from those shows because of deposits.
So let me ask you, is it possible that if you were to get some help and a few things would change and you would see some improvements or some movement in an area where that would satisfy you, is it possible you'd change your mind?
Pat, anything's. I mean, what I'm going to say? I mean, anything's possible. I mean, I'm not going to say no. Maybe I might not be the guy doing it. Maybe it's a brand new group. Maybe it's whatever. I don't. That part I don't know. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, do I hate to do this? Oh, it kills me. I mean, don't forget, I put blood, sweat, and tears into something that's and like I said, I've got other things rolling. But this is a time in my life I just didn't make a call. And sometimes you get to a point, and I've never been divorced, but I hear this all the time with guys who are divorced. They just kind of, just that one day, or women, I shouldn't say it's all guys,
right.
or women, it's just that one situation, and boom, and something hit me Friday, and part of it was, in the paper, and some threats were made, what was going to be done, and you know what? Don't threaten me. I mean, is it my sandbox to go home? Yeah, I'll go home. But what was said was such a small, and the big picture was so small. There's just one more thing, and I just want to be treated equal, because I can point out some specifics, which I don't want to do here, around the area that I'm not being treated equal on.
Can you give me?
And I don't want a special deal. I'm not looking for, that town needs every penny that it can get, from taxes to whatever. I mean, it needs it all, but it's got to be things have to be handled the same. And is it leadership there? Maybe a little. Maybe it's a little easier for me to look at it because I'm not, I don't per se live there, even though I've been there an awful lot lately. Mm-hmm. But I've just got to sort it out. I just don't want to shoot off the top of my head, and that's why I didn't want to do those other interviews. And I trusted you on the interview because I don't want to be led into a question on something that he said, because I won't, and I don't, and it's not, it's still just a building, and I look at it that way. And yeah, I mean, we've had some good times, had some great times. I mean, 50 shows. If you'd have told me that,
I know. And
I walked around. I mean, I'm just tears in my eyes. I'm looking around. I'm looking at all those pictures. I'm thinking, the cause. I mean, he sits right across from me with his cigar in my office. I mean, I can go right down from Gallagher. You know all the stories.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, and the part that always gets me, and I still laugh, looking back, is, it was before, and I've said this before on one of your shows, before it's like, oh, I know where Bellevue is, and now, I'm from Bellevue. Where's Bellevue? I never thought I'd hear that, but they all know where Grace Harbor is. And, the people have supported it. That's not the deal. Have we been light on some shows? Yeah. But it's got nothing to do with the routing. Is that one battle I'm fighting? That's why I'm going to Las Vegas. Yes, that is part of it, but it's a very small part of it. Where I started to where I am now. That I can deal with that. And people are moving radiuses. I read that. Yeah, and you know what? You know why they are? Because we got them, and that's good. That's a good thing.
You once told me, you said you were having so much fun booking shows and running the D&R. You said, I could see myself doing this full time when I retired.
When you say I do in the altar and you say this forever, and you mean it?
Yeah.
I meant that. And you know what? Yeah, I'm having fun. But you know what? And I think that's a good point, Pat. I kind of forgot about that. It's kind of when the fun runs out. And, life, life is not always fun, and there's always things that come up, and, there's governmental issues, and there's personnel issues and whatever. But it comes to a point when it's not fun, because, not making money is not fun, and everyone cannot still believe this. Oh, he's making money. Pat, come on. You know it. I know it. I mean, I have never made a penny there, and it's not designed to. It's designed to basically break even. And, the city did what they did on admissions tax. That was great. I mean, that was wonderful what they did, because all I've done, and you can look at any of my tickets, never have I ever charged a tax or any fees. I went and bought my own ticket system. I mean, people don't see that. That's just. I mean, I'm trying to keep the level down as low as I can. And in the last few days, I've had some businesses, local businesses. I'm not saying local. I'm in Thurston County, Lewis. Some other people, Mason. I mean, they looked at this as affecting them too, and they want to step up and start buying season tickets and so on and so forth. And I thought, that all helps, and maybe that kind of helps the whole thing. But it's going to take a pretty good jolt. And whatever happens, I've got to make a decision quick because of the show situation. And if that does happen, and this thing goes all the way through, I was basically told by a head of the biggest, you could fill the blanks, in the biggest agency in the world, that you won't see a show there in 5 years. Nobody will.
No.
But he said, John, it's nothing personal. You guys have been excellent. Acts love you. The hospitality has been great. But he said you can't go out there and line things up, and then things like this happen. And he said, we've got everybody wants the people that you want. And I said, yeah, well, I'm and after I kind of explained some of the situation and little things. And in fact, I even if you have a chance, check your email. It's just another article a day that it's just one more little thing that's going on in Seattle with some guys. Mm-hmm. some dance clubs, and I think
right. And that was referring to taxes being taxed, wasn't it?
That's just one more thing, I mean, that's one more thing where the state is trying to, now after X amount of months come in and start hitting us on some type of, I don't know what it is, entertainment tax or that we supposedly, when we first got going, we got emails saying, we don't, and now the states, and they're trying to hit everybody, but it says very clearly in there, it doesn't affect theaters. I don't know how much you read the article.
Yeah.
And, but our theater must be different than somebody else's because they're not after Bellingham or Longview or and we've talked to all of them. Bellingham, we see who else you talked to, Bremerton, there's a few others. Even your locals there, but they are us. I don't understand it. But I only have so much time in a day, too. I'm still running a business, and I still have responsibilities, and I can only deal with it so much. But now I've got to finish up here, and I've got some people down there working on this. And, I guess, yes, the support's great, but, marches and things like that, I don't know what that's going to do. But I think it's just kind of, this is what I think, Pat. I don't think it has to do anything with the theater. I think it's just a little bit of everything, and people just want to say, hey, why don't we get together and, let's fix this downtown. Let's fix some of these things because it's not that far away, and I've kept on saying that, but somebody has to push it over the edge, and maybe this is the one. Maybe this is going to get some of the Wichita cleaned up. Maybe, that part, that's another little small part. I mean, that's, the city's tried, but you have no idea some of the stuff I've seen down there. And, is it better than when we first got there? Yeah, but, we also just then clean up the Clevenger's building. And look at that, how that thing's come out. Mm-hmm. Two businesses, a third one going in. Little things like that. But, it's, I don't know. I think I hate to say it, I think this is time that we take the city back. And, but it's not, it's not just only on the admin side. It's, some of the people that, are just, I don't know what the proper term is, but, I can say it's not their city. They're in there, and I just see some things, and it appalls me. But it is America; it's a free country. I'm not into that, but I'm into that. But just like I say, what I've seen down there. And some of the things, it just, it has to do with enforcement, code enforcement, and you've heard it just at Live at 9 and some of your other shows. I'm not telling anybody new, but and I read these, the arms and the waterfronts and all that. I think that's all great, but I think you better worry about what's going on right now in your heart rather than what's going on your, on the makeup on your face. That heart is right down the middle of that town, and that's the thing that needs to be addressed before you start getting these outer areas. And I think I can say that because I have put my money where my mouth is, and I'm in the middle of that war zone, and we just need to, buckle up and start the war and get this thing cleaned up. And and it's not cleaning and clean the area. It's not just about money. It's not. It's just people getting involved, and there's some great people down there, man. The work ethic, and I can't say enough about them. Our little businesses down there. Those girls have just done great. But I wish I could have been yesterday when we gave out everything free yesterday. I don't know if you heard about that.
Oh yeah, we heard about it.
Oh, and thinking about that, hate to say it, and this has got nothing to do with Scoops and Backstage, whatever, because Backstage has done all right, and Scoops has been marginal. But, support these guys. Support these. If you want these local guys to stay, support them. The corporate guys are easy, and I'm just as easy. I can flip through McDonald's as easy as anybody else and get a cone or whatever else, get a milkshake. Go to Scoops, and I'm not jumping up and down for Scoops. That has nothing to do with it. But is this that type of deal? That's what's going to keep it right. Keep it involved. But this is across America. This isn't just the Labradine. It's and there are some people. Yes, they are trying to shop the harbor and all that. But where you really can try to do that. Try to get that cup of coffee from that local espresso drive-through. Try to, because ours was strictly a public service. There was never a penny made there, ever. I can tell you that in a clear heart.
John,
public service.
You're hearing a lot of support for the D&R. Obviously, you're hearing it and you're seeing
it. Oh, it's 90-10, and there's a 10 to say go. I think it's kind of funny because I'd probably be in the 10 also, but that's all right.
So you see that support. People appreciate it. People want it. And it sounds to me like you haven't completely thrown your hands up in the air and given
I know. I said 95.5. No, and I mean that. But, Boy, Pat, it was nice getting up yesterday and not have to worry about chicken ticket sales, and it was nice to not have to worry about where your sales were and how much money I have to put in to cover payroll and all. I mean, little things. It's after 5 years of it, it's nice. I mean, it just sounds weird. I mean, I was on a trip yesterday, and usually I'm online looking at shows, and I wasn't looking at nothing. I watched a movie. I haven't done that on a plane, and I saw that article for the first time. That tells you how current I'm not.
So let's say you take a break and you take a little vacation. Is that possible? You could regroup?
Well, you know what? I mean, whatever it is, and I just got to get with some people, and you included with some people down there, and maybe have a little summit and kind of figure some things out. I mean, I could say a meeting with, is it Senator Hargrove?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Don't know the fella, but him and a couple of other guys apparently, and they want to meet. And I don't know about the city. I don't know about this rally or whatever. I think it's going through, and I don't know that side of it. But and sort some things out. I let them know, because if I don't go forward, they need to know so this doesn't happen again. And if I do, I want to be totally open and what type of things I and other people are facing that maybe they don't know, because again, where I'm a little bit different is the D&R and all that down there doesn't put any bread on my family's table, but again, that's okay. But most people or developers or anybody of the sort aren't going to look at it that way,
right? And
I can't look at it if I can't make a go at it. I'm a local. I'm a Bobcat. I mean, blue and gold, the whole drill. I used to ride my bike on all the sidewalks. I know the area. But, and so, if I can't do it, I'm a little afraid of what's down the road. So,
John, I had heard that you were close to a deal on the Mork.
Pat, you're good.
Is that something that you could say or talk about?
I hear Mike Wallace left 60 Minutes. You looking?
No, that's a lot of pressure. Is there anything you could say about that?
Probably, I'll put it this way, without committing to anybody or anything. It's probably closer for something happening now than in the last 30 years. And that even puts in when we were all together with money in, put it that way. So
that's not necessarily off the table.
Yeah, that would be off the table for me.
It would be.
Yeah, if I'm going to make the break, I'll make the break. I'm not going to sit here and I'm going to do this, but do that. And no. I mean, the place is being boarded up today. I mean, that's not the message and people. I had some people in higher up saying, "You won't do this. You won't do this." Well, don't dare me. Yeah, I will. And I have, and it's done. And drive by today, and it's sad for me to see it too. You don't think I like to see it? No, I don't want to see that. From and you can appreciate it. You saw what we started with, and that was the start of everything. But stepping back, in just my little studying, and I'm not some urban planner, but it all starts in what's happening throughout the country with theaters and hotels in these areas that they're trying to redevelop their downtowns, because they've all went to malls, the strip malls, and all that, and now they're all coming back. And we've got it. I mean, everybody's talked about Astoria. I mean, we could put the Liberty Theater, on the lower level of the D&R, their whole theater, and we could put the whatever hotel that other one was down there,
right?
On the third. I mean, in 2 floors of the Mork. I mean, we have everything but bigger sized. Everything's laid out there. It's just somebody stepping up and continuing the process and getting the locals to back it up and get in and we've done the studies. I mean, I've just done them again, even on the theater. I mean, spent some money, had all the studies done, by professionals. It looks. I mean, it's good. And some other people. It's not just me. I mean, Frank, Franciscovich, good guy. Grew up with him. He put his money where his mouth is. Look what he did down there. He doesn't get enough. He doesn't get enough credit. I mean. I look at that and I thought, boy, Frank, I thought I was crazy. You went new, but but those are guys that have grown up here.
Yeah.
So you could went to different markets, Pat. I know that. I mean, you stuck down there. I mean, they're fortunate to have some guys like that's a big deal.
I love the rain.
Well, Well, I can say one thing about Atlanta today. It is absolutely beautiful. It's cold, but it's beautiful today. So I forgot what that sun looked like, but I'm remembering all of a sudden. But anyway, so I just don't want to say something and say, oh, you said on the radio, you said, because that's usually, I'm an emotional guy, and I'm off the top of my head, but I've got a lot of commitments, and I don't like to see my, the girls, crying and weeping and it's not sad, guys. It's just what it is, and that's part of life. And if it continues, the celebration, rolls, and if it doesn't, we've all learned.
Yeah. So what happens now, John?
Well, I go down and drive my Ford Taurus over to my lunch meeting, and I don't know, Pat.
So you're going to meet with some lawmakers, is what it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah. Some lawmakers and some local business people, regional business people. Because I don't want to say it's Grace Harbor,
okay.
Because I don't know if you knew this. I think I told you before. Half of our ticket sales are out of Grace Harbor, and I don't know if people know that. So. We sold 1,200 tickets. You get 600 people coming down for the day, and it affects everybody around me. I understand, the old, Mallard's being redone. I heard they were real upset last night, because they're putting a new restaurant in, which I'm all for, for Andy Bacard putting that in. I think it's great, but here we go again. The local guy staying around who's got talent. That's what you need there, and. But yeah, I'm going to get with some people and have a clear vision. But just like I said, it all goes back to, and it's going to come back to what I've got to do. If I didn't have these shows lined up, it'd be a lot easier, and a lot easier. I got to decide what I'm going to do on that. Go to the 7th Street, which would be kind of ironic. Do an outside show. I've got to do something because I can't eat. And how much these shows cost. A lot.
Oh yeah.
And and I'm on personally for these shows, but to make a point, would I do it? Yeah, I negotiate myself out, and but like I said, if I do, it's over. It's you can start showing whatever $5 movies. Well, I can't even do that. You probably heard that too.
Oh yeah.
Try to do free movies and people call. That's the kind of stuff that just really bothers me.
Well, you got a lot of support. Yeah, there's a lot of people who want to see it.
I appreciate that. No, and I thank everybody. And again, I want to everybody come together. This isn't a drawing a line, and we're gonna have little Bill Simpson dolls, with a noose around his neck. I mean, Bill's a friend. Come on, this is not targeted at anybody. It's just targeted at the man, I guess, and we've got to try to find a way if we can work with the man, and if we can't, I think we all got problems.
Well, John, I appreciate you taking the time out. Just relax, drive your Taurus, have some fun.
Is this where the players play? Isn't that what they say? Something like that.
I don't know. It's
the ATL stuff.
Have a Coca-Cola because that's all you can get in Atlanta. That's for sure.
You are, yeah. Well, I think you get something else with it. Somebody says something about somebody's named Jack or something.
Probably, yes. All right, John. Thanks, man. I'll let
Pat,
you go.
Keep in touch, and I'll definitely keep you in the loop.
Thanks, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Take it. Have a good day. See you.